Hi friends, welcome back. So we will continue with our video series Data Structures and Algorithms. In the last class we talked about arrays and today we are going to talk about linked list. So arrays and linked list is somewhat similar, but there are a lot of difference between the two. So we will talk about that in detail in the coming videos. So today we are going to talk about linked list. So what is a linked list? So linked list also is used to store the data. Okay, so but the main difference between the array and the linked list is that array, the data is stored in continuous memory locations. So when we talk about linked list, it is not necessary that it will be stored in a continuous place. It can store the data anywhere in the memory. Each element of the linked list will contain two parts. Okay, so each element of the linked list is called a node. So a node will contain two parts. One is for storing the data, like the name of the players, like Mark, Ben, like that, and the other part will store the address of the next or the previous node. Okay, so these nodes are linked with each other. Next we are going to see some different types of linked list. Okay, so we have different types of linked list according to the purpose of our requirements. So next we will see that. So now we will see the different types of linked list. So the first one is singly linked list. Okay, in this singly linked list we have different nodes, and in this example I have three nodes which has got the data of Mark, Ben and Raj. So the first node has got these two parts. One is for storing the data, the other is for storing the address of the next data. And when you go to the next node, that the second node, it has got the data of Ben and it has got the address of the third node. So third node has got the data of Raj and its address pointing towards null because that is the last node. Okay, so and the next one is the doubly linked list. In the doubly linked list, each node has got three parts. Okay, and one is for storing the data, and the other two parts is for the pointing towards the next node and pointing towards the previous node. So in this case, the first node, the previous pointer points to null, and the next pointer of the last node points to null. And here in this example, you can see that the second node, this points to the previous pointer points towards the first node, and the next pointer points towards the third node. And the next one is the circular singly linked list. In this type of linked list, we have two parts for each node, and the one part stores the data, the other one stores the address of the next node. So here in this example, you can see that first node points towards the node which contains the data of Ben, and that node points towards the node which contains the data of Raj. And you can see that the address part of the third node stores the address of the first node. And the fourth one is the circular doubly linked list. So in this case, we have three nodes there, and first node, that is points towards the second node, and the previous pointer of the second node points towards the first node. And in this example, you can see that the the next pointer of the third node points towards the first node, and the previous pointer of the first node points towards the third node. Okay, so these are the some of the different types of linked list we can use in programming. So I hope you understood about the different types of linked list. Next, we are going to see how we can implement this linked list in Unity. So now we are going to see an example how a linked list can be used using Unity. To do this example, first we will create a class file in the scripts folder. So right click on that, then go to C# script and give the name as player list, and double click to open this. Okay, so here you can see that I have a class with the name of player list, and in the previous example we saw the start function and the update function. So today I won't be using the update function, so I can delete that. So first what we are going to do is that I am going to create a object of linked list class. Okay, so for that I will go to private linked list. So I am going to define the data type as string. Okay, then after that I will give the name of the object, so I can give this as players. So here I have created a object of the linked list class. Okay, then I have given the name of that object as players. Now in the start function I will define what is the players. Okay, so we will give like players is equal to new linked list string. So here you can see that I have created a linked list object. Now I am going to add new nodes to this linked list. If you want to add a new node to the start of this linked list, you can use the add first. Okay, so here I will give like players dot add first. Okay, so you can in the drop down menu you can see the add first. Then I will give the name of the player. Okay, so I will use some of the names which I have used in the previous example. So I will go for add first Mark. The name of my first player is Mark. Now I am going to create a function for showing the name of the players. So for that I will create a new function called show list. Okay, so I can just go for private void show list. Okay. So in this function I am going to use this function to display all the players which are there in the players list. Okay, so I will go for each. You can use the for each method to use the string player. So you can just give any name the player in which is the name. What's the name of the list? That is players. Okay, so this you have to give the proper name players. Okay, then I will go for debug dot log. Okay, so I am going to display the names. Okay, so you can just go for player. Okay, then I will save that. Then I will go back to Unity, and I want to play this. So for that I can go to a empty game object and go for this. Okay, and in this player object I will attach this script. Now I will play this. sorry, I have not called that function. So I will go for show list. Okay, to call this function in the start function, I have called this function called show list. Okay, and I will go back to Unity, then play this. So here in the console window, you can see that I got the output as mark. So it is displaying the players that is there in the players list. And I have only one player right now. So that is the mark. Okay. So it is the mark is displayed there. Now, if you want to add another name, okay, my next player is Ben. Okay, so I want to add this Ben after the existing node. So which one is my existing node? The value is mark. Add Ben after mark. Okay, so for that I will go for players dot add after. Okay, then I will go for add players dot first. So what is my first value? That is mark. So after that I will add the value of Ben. Okay, so Ben is my next player. Now again I will go back to Unity and I will play it again so that I will see whether my all players are displayed. So I will just play this, and here you can see that I am getting the output as Mark and Ben. So these are my current players in the list, Mark and Ben, and I got that values displayed here. Next I want to add a player in the last of the list. Okay, so to add a node to the end of the linked list, we can use at last. Okay, so I will go for players dot add last. Okay, so I am going to give the name as Raj. So Raj is my player which I want to add in the last of this list. So I have two players, sorry, I have three players right now, Mark, Ben and Raj. Then I will go back to Unity and I will test that. Okay, so just go to clear. So you can use the clear on play. It will clear this everything in the console window when you play that. But this is for to avoid a confusion. I am going for clear and I am playing this. Okay. So here you can see that I have Mark, Ben and Raj. So I have three players right now in the list and I have displayed those players' name. Now I want to add a node before one of the existing nodes. Okay, so if I want to add a player before Ben, then how we can do that? Okay, so I want to add a name I want to add a player with the name of Mahesh before Ben. Okay, so for that I will go for players dot add before. Okay, add before. Then I have to find, first I have to find with the value of Ben. So to find a node with the value of Ben, I am going to use players dot find. Okay, so find, then I will give the name as Ben. I will give the new value which I want to enter before Ben. Then I am going to give the name as Mahesh. I am going to play this so you can see. So now you can see the list of my players is Mark, Mahesh, Ben and Raj. So in the previous command which I had given to the command to enter a player name before Ben. So I can see that in the list first it is Mark, then Mahesh, then Ben and Raj. So now everything is working find. So I have added 4 players in that players list right now. Now what I am going to do is that I am going to remove some of the elements from this list. If you want to remove the first node, then how we can do that? So first I will go for players dot remove first. Okay. So here I am going to give the statement like players dot remove first. Okay, and I am going to display the latest list right now. So here you can see that there is no longer Mark there. I have Mahesh, Ben, and Raj. Okay, because I have removed the first node from the list. Now next what I am going to do is that I am going to remove a particular player. So I want to remove Raj from the list. Okay, so for that what we can do, we can go for players dot remove. Okay, so we can go for remove. Then I have to find out where is Raj. So I can just go for players dot find Raj. Okay. So I am going to remove Raj also from this list. Then go back to Unity. Okay. So here we can see that I have only 2 players right now, Mahesh and Ben. Okay. So I have already removed the first node, that is the Mark. Then I also removed the player with the value of Raj. Okay, so right now I have only 2 players left in this list. Okay, so next what we are going to see is that I am going to remove all the players from this list. Okay, so for that we can use clear to remove all the nodes from this list. Okay, so I will go for players dot clear. So I have cleared all the players right now. Now I am going to display this. So here I am going to give lines of statements like if players dot count. Okay, so if it is 0, so when you clear that particular list, then the count will be 0. So I am going to give it as if players dot count. If it is 0, then I am going to display that debug dot log. And I will just go for the players list is empty. So I have given the code for like if the count of player is equal to 0, then the player list is empty. Then I will go for show list. Then go back to Unity, clear this. Then I will play it. So here you can see that this command, I am getting the show list as Mahesh and Ben. Then in the next statement, I have cleared all the nodes from that players list. Then after that, I call the show list again. Okay, so here you can see that when I call the show list again, I am getting the message as the players list is empty, because the after clearing this list, I am getting the count as 0. So now you can see that my players list is empty right now. And if you want to add new elements, then you can use the same method which we have used before. So I will go for players dot add first. Okay. So here I am going to give the name as Matthew. Then I am going to call this same function, that is show list. Now go back to Unity. Then I will clear this. So here you can see that in the first show list, that is this one, I am getting the values as Mahesh and Ben. Then I cleared this players list. Then when I call this show list, I am getting this output as players list is empty. Then after that, in that same list, I have added the value of Matthew. Then when I went for this show list, we can get the output as Matthew.
So I hope you understood the concept of linked list. So linked list is used to store the data, but the main difference between the array and this linked list is that we also store the location of the next data item. Okay, so these nodes are interconnected. We will, in the next coming videos, we will talk more about the difference between the arrays and linked list. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. Thank you so much.